Hey, grade 6. So you're looking at slide 10 for this week. So last week we did simple circuits, right? And simple circuits are the ones that look like the bottom of your screen. Sorry, guys. That have three things, right? A power source, a resistor, and a conductive path. So those are the ones you made for me last week. In the circuitry we're going to look at in a second. This week we're talking about series circuits, which are actually super similar. So here you can see a circuit that I've put together. And what you'll see in your slide 10 of your notebook is that you'll see there's actually symbols that we use to indicate how our circuit's going to work. So last week I asked you guys to switch to this setting, which you may or may not have used because it's easier to see what's being done. So we can see there's a battery here that I'm flipping back and forth. There's a light bulb, and then there's a switch. I asked you guys to use that last week because I think it's a little bit easier to see, but you may or may not have used it. This week, I'd recommend for your activity using on this setting just to get used to it. So this guy over here is a battery. In this case, it's because I picked it over here. It's a 1-volt cell, battery cell. This is a small light bulb, so it's also it's 1 ohm. And then here's my switch. So I can turn this on, and I can see it's going to work just fine. I can tell in this version because it turns green. So that's a simple circuit like last week. This week, we're going to talk about series circuits. So that's a series circuit. It has more things in it, but they keep one path, right? So I'm going to add a second lamp to my circuit. So now you can see we have a switch, we have a battery cell, and we have 2 lamps. In a series circuit, electrons have to have a single path to follow, and all the electrical devices share that one electrical path. So you can see that everything is just on this one square. So let's see what happens. I'm going to try to turn this on, and we see it does not work. And that's because I have a 1 volt battery, but 2 1 ohm bulbs. So that's 2 to 1, right? Not strong enough. What I can do is I can change this out for the 2 volt battery. So now we're at 2 battery power and 2 light power, and then we can see that it's going to work. Right? Something else I just want to show you quickly when you look at circuits, a lot of you guys gave great answers about this anyway. But if I have a 1 light bulb, like this little guy here, but a 2 battery, what ends up happening? It's going to give me a red X. And that means that you've blown the bulb. So you've blown the fuse. That's too much power for that little bit of a bulb. So what we can do is we can add another lamp, right? You can add a resistor if you don't want more than 1 light, right? Because they'll take them up together. You can add a buzzer, all sorts of different things, okay? So series circuits have a single path that all the electrons follow around, and they have to be just a 1 path. So we can see that when we add 2 different resistors, it weakens the power of the battery, right? So if we have a big lamp that's 2 and a little lamp that's 1 with a battery 2, we could tell this is 3 lamp altogether, 2 and 1, and a 2 battery. It's not going to work, right? The number of resistors, because remember these lamps are called resistors, the number of resistors you have is going to make a difference in how effective the series circuit is. So in real life, this may have actually allowed these bulbs to light, but it would have been really, really dim. But if I had just taken out one of the bulbs, it would have been a brighter bulb. The other thing that can affect it is the length of the wire. So if you have a really, really long path between your switch and your bulb and your battery, it's going to burn less bright than if you had a more straightforward path. And of course, the number of batteries, because the more batteries you have, the stronger power it's going to be, right? So this is going to blow our fuse, but I have 2 batteries. So now I can have, a big lamp and maybe, going to have some fun, maybe have a buzzer here. Ooh, he's going to have more things, right? And then it'll be powered up. So just think things that affect the usefulness of a series circuit, length of the wire, how many batteries you have, and the number of resistors.